Hello, good evening, everyone. So it's me, Kevin, again. So today yesterday I got a question from someone, and I think this question is something that's close to the heart of many people. And sometimes we may even have a misunderstanding regarding what's really the correct answer to this question. And it's very common that we have this question in mind, and we sometimes may have also assumed that the answer we know is the correct answer. So I'd just like to clear some air regarding this question. So what is this question about? But before I begin talking about this, I just want to share that okay, maybe I'll just go through this whole topic first. Okay, this question, it's someone sent me a message, and the message content says that do not assume that if you have a joint account with someone, including your husband or your wife, I mean your spouse, your family member, when the person pass away, when the joint account holder pass away, the money in the account will it automatically goes to the other joint holder. Okay, the some of us we assume that the answer is yes. That's the purpose of having a joint account, right? Because both persons' name are in the account. So if the other person pass away, the balance in the account, the money in the account, of course, have to come go to the other joint holder, correct? But it's not always the case. And this is why it's important that I discuss about this here now. So before you understand what will happen to the money in the joint account, you need to understand the principle of how our jointly owned asset operate. There's two things here. Basically, what we have here is called wait it's a bit lag. Need to understand two concept. The first one is called uh, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy means if we have two person, owner A and owner B. So if the owner A suddenly pass away, but at the end of the day we all pass away suddenly, and no one expect to pass away at a fixed certain point of time. So if the joint holder pass away, the money will goes to the other joint holder. Will go to the joint holder B. This is joint tenancy. If this guy pass away, the balance in the asset will goes to the other joint holder. So this is called joint tenancy. But in our country, we actually follow another concept, and that is called the line is a bit slow. Okay, so whatever you're seeing on the screen here is joint tenancy. When I pass away, the value of the account that I jointly hold with my spouse will go to my spouse only. That's joint tenancy. The other one is called tenancy in common. Okay, which means if we own two person owns one account, when the person A pass away, the balance do not go to the surviving joint holder. That portion will still remain under the ownership of the now deceased joint holder A. It's called tenancy in common because that portion will remain as the person's asset. But once we pass away, it's no longer called asset, it's called estate. So the value, the money in the account will have to be passed down to the next of kin of this person, and it will then depends whether this person has a will or not. If there is no will, then we will have to follow the Distribution Act 1957, and depending on the persons, whether they have parents, they have spouse, or they have issue exists at the point of death, that portion will be distributed accordingly to this person. But if you have a will, then the money in the account will be distributed according to your instruction in your will. And of course, before it comes to the distribution stage, there's a lengthy legal procedure that the legal representative have to go through first. If without a will, then an estate administrator will have to be appointed to apply for a letter of administration. If there is a valid will, then the executor of the will have to apply for the grant of probate. And after passing through all the other hurdle, getting clearance letter from Lembaga Hasil Negeri, after paying off the debt of debt to the debtor of the estate, means if I owe people money before I pass away, after I pass away, my estate will have to settle all these outstanding debt that I have before I pass away. So after clear off, if there's balance, then it will go to me. But if let's say you have a joint account with someone and you really want the money to go to this joint holder, what you can do is you can have two options. Some banks, they actually have in the terms and condition, there is a survivorship clause. If they have this clause and you open an account under these terms, it means when the person joint holder pass away, the money in the account will go to the other joint holder. So in that case, it's really it at least legalize that the money will go to the joint holder who is still living at that time. So that's okay. But if let's say your joint account is with a bank and the terms and conditions there do not have a survivorship clause, then you need to ask the bank if they have that. You have to check with your bank. Different banks have the different terms and conditions. So you can check with the bank. If the bank have this clause, then at least okay. But what if it doesn't have? You can still do one thing. At least you can write a will, and inside your will you can just write that all the joint account you have, whether it's a joint investment account like your unit trust account or your joint bank account, once you have say bye bye to the world, the value will all goes to the joint holder. So through this, at least you legalize that this person will not only have the right to withdraw the money out, and even if he use the money is also okay, because you have instructed that this asset will be bequeathed to this person. So at least this is something that you need to be clear of. So if you are thinking that by opening joint account, the money will always go to the joint holder, it's not all the time. You have to check whether the terms there is a survivorship clause or not. So this is what I need to just share a little bit. And before I come on to before I click live just now, someone actually sent me an SMS. It's about getting donation and help for a 13 months toddler. So I'm sharing the news here. Hang on. I'm sharing the news here so that we all can see. Apparently there is a 13 months old toddler. Is a girl. So she has been having some congenital condition with the heart, and there's a Malaysian Association for the Welfare of Mentally Challenged Children. They are actually been providing financially to help this cause to treatment for this little girl, and they need about 90,000. They are looking to raise about 90,000, and I just browsed through their Facebook. The treatment actually started since last year, and this is the second year that they are trying to get help for her. And the expenses, because it's quite a huge amount, as you can read from here, which is equivalent to a total of 1.2 million a year. So it's really sometimes can be very sad to read that there are people out there who really are not so fortunate, and they needed, and money can really save their life. Although we may say that money is not everything, but you really need money to do something sometimes. And I think this is one of the critical and crucial costs that money can be really used to do a lot of good. So they have a breakdown of how the 90,000 will be used. So the details of the expenses: milk powder, how much per month for a year, nursing fee, medical fee and follow-up, physiotherapies, daily expenses, feeding tubes and miscellaneous. So monthly expenses about 7,600. So for a year of support, they will need about 91,000, and they are raising for about 90,000 of fund to continue for another year to help and accompany this very brave baby girl to continue the fund. So if you are like me or other people who are very always looking out to help people who needed help, then you can probably have this take a note on this bank account, CIMB and Hong Leong Bank, and this is the name of the association, Persatuan Kebajikan Kanak-Kanak Terenjak Agam Malaysia. So this center is actually based in Jalan Gasing in PJ, and from what I was told, they have about 73 baby inside the center. And if any of us feel like to visit them, we are also welcome to pay a visit to check out and share some time with these little babies and kids who needed help and also needed some care and love as well. So this is the details. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking for donation here. I'm just sharing what I have come across, and I think it's something that may be helpful for other people, so I'm just sharing here. So this is the brave baby. So as I also check out the comment section, so apparently also there are some people who are very responsive towards this kind of drive, and they have also contributed their fair share. I mean, sometimes to do good, you don't have to donate 100 ringgit or 1000 ringgit. I mean, 10 ringgit, 20 ringgit can also be very big, because like what I always say, especially I shared about it in yesterday or a few days ago as well, every small contribution, every small progress will eventually makes a very huge difference when you multiply it or when you amplify it by the frequency or the number. So if you would like to use some of your money to help, and you help yourself to also give back or give to help other, then, and if you're looking for some avenue to do so, then maybe this is something that you can consider as well. All right, so these are the contacts are here, the address are here, the name of the association as well as the bank details are also here. So if you want to do something about it, it's really up to you. There are also many other people who needed help, not just here. But if you are looking for something, then maybe this is one of it that you can. And because they really do need the contribution, at least now we know this site really have a baby 13 months old who is really looking for our care, our love, and also some of our money that can help her to continue another day or another year. All right, so this is what I'm going to just say here. Thank you very much. Bye bye.